Welcome to the third-party news for Retro Robot Radio for the date of August 30th, 2014. Alright, the first product we'll be looking at this week is a render that was released by Bold Forms. It is their figure they're calling Wildfire, and oddly enough, it's the Stunticon breakdown for their upcoming Menasor-style combiner. A lot of people have complained that it looks a little skinny and it has very busy chest, but we'll see. Honestly, it looks a lot like the upcoming Hasbro breakdown figure. But all the prototypes that have come from Bold Forms have been a lot better than the early images, so I'm willing to wait and see. Newcomer named Dawgstar has shown us this version of Micromaster Countdown he's calling Moonraker, the intergalactic space hero. You may know Countdown, he's basically the leader of the Autobot Micromasters. Came about later in the series, so he didn't really have much appearance in fiction other than a brief appearance in Dreamwave Comics and in the Zone anime. And there, of course, will be a mandatory remold and recolor. They're going to go with Dune Racer, who seems to be Beachcomber. So I don't know how this is going to end up being a Micromaster and a Minibot. Honestly, I'd have rather they'd gone with the GoBot recolor that's been so popular lately and made him into Buggy Man. But hey, that's just me. DX9 has been showing off their Speedo and their Gartanel. War in Pocket. These are the Scout or Commander-sized versions of Blur and Ironhide. It's okay. I think they have a little trouble fitting in with the Scout toys that Hasbro's been releasing lately, because the Hasbro ones have all had Target Master partners, 5mm hand ports. These seem to have the 3mm hand ports, and only the Blur Speedo has a rifle, and Ironhide doesn't have any weapons so far we've seen. These figures are only supposed to sell for the pair for $45, which is a good price for third-party figures, but they really don't have my interest at this size class. I'd be willing to pay more if they were actually the toys I wanted. A deluxe Blur and maybe a deluxe to small Voyager Ironhide. You know what? Make these a little bigger or make them shattered glass colors. Maybe I'll look at them. You can see them compared to the Legends class Target Master Optimus Prime figure. Here's Blur for some reason with Roadbuster. And I can see how they kind of say they could scale with the Combiner Superion, because it does have Scout class limbs, but then it has a deluxe base torso. KFC has been showing off the box images for the soon-to-be-shipped Daya Commander Stack. I'm not sure why they call it Daya, D-A-I, so Daya, D-I-A. But the box is kind of a G1 Diaclone window box. Even has the transformation on top. Powered car carrier mode. You know, they could have thrown in the powered buggy from the Diaclone powered commander. It would have been really cool, but I guess they'll sell that separately or later. And there's a little biography for the character. The character is actually the evil Ultra Magnus from Shattered Glass, if you actually read the bio or read the comic books that comes from it. This is the evil commander stack from a parallel mirror universe. KFC also showed off the finished product images of Haymaker, a much delayed cassette that they Originally announced at TFCon 2013 and was supposed to come out in October of 2013 and then got delayed several times. I'm told it's because of actually his partner, Overslay, who was their version of Overkill, who ended up having some QC issues, and they basically had to send him back and start over till they got one that was working right. So that one is still coming. And because they ship together, you can't ship one without the other. And here you see him with Masterpiece Soundwave, which is one reason why a lot of people are getting him. They need a updated version of Slugfest with Haymaker here. Now this will be eventually remolded into the Dinobot named Bladeback, who is their version of Snarl. And also they might be making an original character who's called Backslash, who's in another color deco, and a Shattered Glass version of Haymaker. So that's 4 different decos for this mold that I have heard bandied about as being planned. And this is the test shot of the updated version of Overslay, who is hopefully going to end up working out nicely. You can see that they've put screws in there instead of pins that were in the original design, so I wonder if they were having some trouble with the strength of the legs not holding him up or something. And there's in the robot mode. Now this one I know is at least getting a remold as King Rex, which will be their version of Grimlock. That Grimlock remold might get a recolor as Shattered Glass Grimlock, and then the original Overslay version is going to be recolored as an original character named Strike Through. So it's a couple of planned uses of this mold too. And you know what? A lot of people complain, oh my god, you've repainted. Even if you don't like it, don't buy it. But I like to have lots of options when these cassettes come out. If they're going to release them in 3 or 4 colors, that's great. Now, KFC's also been showing off some images of their upcoming Transistor, who is their, some people say Masterpiece size, but honestly, he's G1 size. The original G1 toy was just about that tall. So this guy is as tall as Masterpiece Soundwave and as tall as G1 Blaster. And he's their updated version of Blaster. Now this one I would like to see recolors of, because you obviously have Twin Cast, and you could have Shattered Glass Blaster out of this mold. But they did a really good job with the head. It looks just like the animation model. I wonder if someone's going to release an alternate version of the comic or toy model head. You see a little bit of a close-up on the design. Honestly, all you just stick an Autobot symbol on the chest and he's pretty much G1 matching. I wonder what the mechanics are going to be like for his cassette mechanism. Will he have a working eject button or just pull it open? Looks like he's going to have articulated hands. I think some people were hoping that he has wrist swivels, but I think he looks pretty good. Maketoys has shown off the in-package inside image of their Quantron combiner. So this guy is getting really close to shipping if they're showing off in-package now. Also, Microblaze Creations is showing off some of their steps in building the version of Onslaught that's a Voyager combiner for the Fall of Cybertron Combaticons. They've said that it's been delayed because it didn't come out exactly the way they want, and they'd rather go back and get it right than release a faulty toy, and I think that's a good idea. Let's see. It's kind of neat to see how it's actually on a sprue like this. Looks like a model kit. Mastermind Creations has been showing off their Tigress figure, who is going to be just about completing their Pharaoh Rex combiner. I think this and Talon. I don't know which one's going to come out first, but once they have the 2 arms, it should be ready to go. I'm not sure whether this one or the TFC Air Rays will be coming out first, but honestly, they're so close together, it's practically a photo finish for these guys, and you just get to the one that you think is the coolest looking. I think I'm more interested in the remold, recolor that they have coming out of this guy as G1 Catilla. I like that they're throwing in the 6th member of the Predacons. It's kind of cool. And the Catilla version is kind of a good thing that they can have as a standalone figure, too. Here's the alt mode. Those swords kind of make little mini wings. Gives them a steel jaw appearance almost. I like that you have lots of 5mm ports on there for putting on different accessories and weapons. It's a good idea. And he's pretty darn big. Look at there. He's, what is that? The Perfect Effect Warden isn't a small figure. Now, they've also announced that Mastermind Creations is going to come out with a thing called the Completion Kit. This will be a bonus item that they're giving out with pre-orders that will add little bits of filler and some weapons to the completed Feral Rex. Let's see, it says hip armor, inner forearm fillers. Yeah. So, you know, at least they're giving it away. That's cool. I think if with a pre-order you can get it. I really liked the original Unique Toys Predaking, but I think one of its biggest failures was that all the Predaking parts didn't have a place to go, whereas these one looks like you can store them on the beasts in the alternate mode, so Mastermind Creations did good on this one. Mastermind Creations also had a teaser. I think this is inside the Tigress instructions for their upcoming... This is basically their version of Solus Prime, the female Prime, with the hammer. It looks a heck of a lot like the hammer from Transformers Prime, the Forge of Solus Prime. I think if I was to get one of the upcoming MMC Fembot figures, this would probably be the coolest one to get. Chinese block company Star Diamond has released a set of Creo-like combiner Constructicons that are very closely based on the Creo Devastator. But they've added quite a bit to them, including a 5th member. The Creo Devastator only had 4. The members of the Creo Star Diamond, not Devastator, actually are all triple changers. Let's see, Spray turns into a crane or a lizard. Huge Talon turns into a gorilla or a front loader. Overload turns into, it looks like another lizard or a bulldozer. Polar Light turns into digging machine or a scorpion, and Electro Drill turns from digging drill into bird. So these guys look pretty darn cool. I've seen them on eBay. They sell individually for about $30 each, shipped to the US. And they're definitely a step up from the Creo figures. Funny thing is, Star Diamond has actually been making the transforming robots for some time now. And some of them were based on the Hasbro characters. Some of them are original. But they really love doing combiners, so it's neat that they did their own version of Devastator. SXS has shown up some prototype images of their Blur figure. No name on this guy yet, but he's about Voyager or Masterpiece size. And actually, this looks like a test shot now that I'm looking close at it, because it looks like that's plastic mold injected plastic, not just resin. So they must be getting close. Next thing they just have to do is make something that's blue and has some paint, and they got a pretty cool looking big Blur going. How come everyone has to make either Blur as a Voyager or Blur as a Scout? Come on, Deluxe Blur. Guys, it's a moneymaker. And this one is the latest from Toyworld. This is their Roar figure, which is their version of Snarl. And remember when this first appeared online. People were saying that they thought maybe it was like a world's smallest class figure or something like that because it looks so much like the Toys. Well, look at it in that guy's hand. This thing is huge. It's like ultra class, and it forms the leg of a combiner. Yeah, not bad. And you know what? The retail version has chrome on it, not just the convention exclusive version that no one can get a hold of. You hear that, Fans Project? People like the chrome. X-Transbots has shown off some of the images of their upcoming Ollie figure, who is a homage to Generation 1 Wheelie. As you can see here, it has a lot of the inner workings. And that's a very familiar looking leg. X-Transbot has also teased its upcoming squadron of sweeps style figures. I'm told that these figures will be about masterpiece size, but they're not far enough along to show prototypes of yet. They will, by masterpiece size, I mean they will actually stand eye to eye with Masterpiece Starscream. So it should be interesting to see. I also wanted to point out that the cards for the Kaiju Chaos game for the Action Hunter Orange and the Toxic Spill Green version of the BMOG Manta and Bear figures is now out. So you can start using these figures in your Kaiju Chaos game. I'm told there are quite a few more figures coming out in the Kaiju Chaos game format, so this should be quite interesting. I'd like to remind any listeners who are interested to go visit wikialpha.org. WikiAlpha is an open source encyclopedia that anyone can edit, and unlike Wikipedia, WikiAlpha has no requirements that articles be particularly notable, which means you can write articles on any subject as long as you feel up to it. Write an article about an obscure game, about yourself, about your pet dog, or about third-party Transformers. It's all fine, and no one's going to delete them because they're not notable. You can check out the article I wrote on the third-party Transformer. It has links and pictures to a whole bunch of the third-party Transformers that exist out there. This week's screen capture is Rosie the Robot from the animated TV series The Jetsons. This week's news brought to you from the pages of tformers.com and TFW 2005. News read by Matthew Ignash. Be sure to check out our YouTube page at Retro Robot Radio and leave a comment. And check out the third-party TF Crashers on Facebook.